What's up guys, Nate Petrosky from Narrowway Homestead. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about internet. You can see over there, I've got Starlink. When I first started homesteading here, Starlink was not available in this part of West Virginia, or maybe West Virginia at all, and I had to do something else. And in a lot of ways, I'm kind of going back to it because Starlink's performance isn't what I had hoped. I talked to people that were beta testers and had it early before there was a lot of people on it. They got crazy speeds. Me, 10 up if I'm lucky, sometimes 40 down. Sometimes whatever, thunderstorm goes over. Is it better than nothing? Absolutely. Will I always keep it, whether it's primary or backup? Yes. Originally, I ended up with a tower pointing 5 miles through the trees. It's a little less through the trees now because I've dropped some of the trees over to a cell tower that's 5 miles away. Unlike a traditional hotspot, which is just a thing you hold in the palm of your hand that doesn't really get good service, just like my cell phone out here, I use directional antennas and something mounted in an enclosure. Before I had the outdoor kitchen, I had mounted it up on a tree here, which that tree is no longer gone because it needed to be cut down because it wasn't great and it didn't do good for service anyway. I had a little 2x4 mount over my camper. Eventually, while that stuff did work, I was constantly having to reboot it and stuff. Well, eventually the company I bought it from, they designed their own product called Invisagig. And I've been running off of that almost bulletproofly for like 2 years. The signal's not that great, partially because I have cables just running from there about 20 feet over to an enclosure underneath. Don't even remember why I did all that. But anyway, I literally got the owners of Invisagig coming out here and helping me out. And I haven't done software updates on the thing in like 2 years, and they're like, wow, it's like still working for you. And I like literally touch nothing. And it's literally just like a modem. It receives a signal, it has an Ethernet port on it, and you take that to your router, which will then broadcast Wi-Fi everywhere, which I've had a variety of iterations of all that too. But anyway, they're just gonna swap all that for me at the same time. Anyway, I'm gonna actually try to find the original enclosure I had that I modified that had some cheap, I don't even remember what it was. He'll remember what it is. But anyway, I'm gonna see if I can find that and show you guys what I started out with for internet. I went to that. I'm kind of wanting to just make Starlink a backup now and move on to something way cooler.
Sure enough.
What doing, man? Hi. Things happening. Are we getting upgrades?
Gary?
Gary, come.
Take it here. Come on.
Can I have it? Minion, you're gonna run around the whole homestead with it?
107-705.
You want to see the speed test from in the building?
I do want to see the speed test from in the building. Out the window.
Right side of the screen there.
Woo.
That's in the building.
42 ping.
42 ping, 95 down, 11 up.
So the big non-bulky antennas and just a straight connection is a much better deal.
Yep. Seems
That's
like
in here. That's cool. Richard has taken down all the old equipment now. The new one is up. It's actually going to be permanently mounted on the garage. Can't be seen from right here. And it hopefully will get just as good, which it will, or better maybe, signal. But I want to check out the old equipment with him and just show him what I was dealing with, which he already knows because like I got the stuff from him.
Using the right way this time.
Maybe.
Pull this back in. Yep.
Az
Az is asleep, babe.
he's like,
Why are you waking me up?
why are we waking up? I was having a great nap.
You take your feet.
I was having a nap.
Hello.
As is the mountain.
As it is the mountain. Yep.
It's got the four LEDs on that thing.
The capacity from here is 230 down and 150 up. Is what the connection. And Nate's right in the middle of it. Can handle.
Yeah.
It's still working.
I'm feeling warm.
It's working right through it.
Right in the middle of it.
See, do you have the Protect app on there?
I do, yeah.
See if you can see the camera.
Yeah. I'd have to, yeah.
All right, so we're down here and we tried this tree and that tree and we went over there and all kinds of stuff. And as you can see, we've just got the receiver just hanging out down here on the ground. You might think that's where we just conveniently set it, but that's where the best signal was. As soon as you tried to go up a tree or to another tree, Minion can attest, it did not work. or it did, but it wasn't as strong a signal. So, for reasons unknown to us, this is the best spot. We probably can't keep it that low because there will be a lot of foliage and there may or may not be animals and rodents happily getting to it. So one of the things I've always wanted on this property is internet down at my pond, which I say down because it's 300 feet lower in elevation, and I don't even remember, I think it's like 700 feet across or away. It's too long for an Ethernet cord because it runs out of power, so I would need to do something to boost the strength again, but I don't necessarily have a power source halfway in between me and the pond, and the foliage is so dense solar is really not an option without clear cutting a big section. But Ridge seems to think that we'll be able to get a point-to-point link, which is basically a wireless connection down to the pond. So we're setting up a point-to-point link, and then there's going to be a portable power station that'll power the link down there, as well as a router, and then a camera, so that there can be a camera down at the pond, so I can see wildlife, and anybody on the internet can see wildlife as long as they go check out the Twitch. Update on the pond that doesn't hold water, and most importantly, its camera. It streams on Twitch. My power station has been getting warm because I tried to stick it under a tote, and the first day the sun shone, well, you know, made it hot. Plus I've got other electronics in there, and it's time for an upgrade. Also, this signal is not the best, and it has nothing to do with it being down at the ground. It needs to be there for best signal, so we're just going to move it up the hill and longer Ethernet cables and still try to keep Jackery and its panels in the sunshine, the limited pocket of sunshine I have down here at the pond. And so now we got airflow, hopefully not too much, but I screwed this bottom piece of plywood to this, and I'll put some weight on here, maybe some rocks against it. Also fasten the roof. Gotta mount everything in there. Ridge is moving some of the signal piece way up there. I can't wait until hopefully you guys can see some fish in the live camera. It'll be tough depending on the angle of the sun and everything. But the pond that doesn't hold water does hold fish. Bluegills. And all these babies, they're gonna need to get eaten with something because I have way too many bluegill. But yeah, this is cool. Well, the Invisagig is in its final position, and the point-to-point link, if some of you are extremely observant, you'll notice it looks different. We actually ended up swapping out the point-to-point link we started with initially with this one, and it does not really get better signal, but it allows for more bandwidth to pass. Foliage is quite high, and it's doing fine. Richard and Ridge are both owners of Invisagig. Richard had to go back after a couple days. Ridge stayed here and helped me do a whole bunch of excavating, which was really cool. Made some flat spots in West Virginia, which is, if you're familiar with this area, rare. All of my networking equipment got upgraded. Now I can stream to a variety of platforms. I still have my Starlink internet. It is set up, kind of laying here, but it's set up to fail over to that. I'm primarily using the Invisagig internet, which is a whole lot better now than it was, even though it was still better in Starlink before. It was really cool that they came out here to see what it is I'm trying to do, what I'm all about, help improve all my hardware and my equipment and everything I'm doing. The lifestyle I live is not something that most tech guys know a whole lot about or even interested in, so even them just being willing to come here for a while and visit, I thought it was really cool. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm more of a hands-on type of person, but I love the tech stuff too, and that's just not that common to like homesteading, like technology. But those two worlds that seem completely opposite, when combined together, I think make a really awesome place. This homestead's high-tech as can be, and it makes my life simpler and easier. This video was filmed over a 2-month duration. If you want to know the latest about Invisagig, you can go to invisagig.com. In a nutshell, it's a 5G modem that you can add whatever router you want to it, whether you want a big fancy setup like I have in that server rack, or if you want something small and portable for, say, an RV application or any other portable reason. It's really engineered for enterprise businesses, but the price is reasonable enough that it can be used in a residential setting, and in a rural setting like this where I really want a good internet connection and the nearest tower is 5 miles away. It's, to me, impressive what it's able to do. It's compatible with all cell carriers, including international ones. I'm currently running on a T-Mobile SIM card. They have a pre-order available now for their newest version. I've had it for a while now, but obviously I don't have the newest version. And while it is a pre-order, they do have the supplies on hand to put them together and get them to you. Anyway, like I promised, I'm going to go over my old internet equipment with Richard, and I'm just going to throw the interview right at the end of this. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, I found my old equipment, this ancient enclosure, and then This other old equipment was on the pole, which he so kindly took down for me. The new thing is out there, but he's got one of them to show you guys, and we're just gonna go over this, just kind of the history of the Narrowway Homestead Internet. This is Richard. He owns Invisagig. When I get lost in this technical stuff, he's going to pick up where I fail. I can't believe I found the enclosure or even kept it. This has been heavily modified. This was not at all how I received it, but before the enclosures, I had this thing in just like a waterproof box because I wanted to do shorter antennas. And what is this thing again?
That is the NEXQ6 Geo that we first started selling. It's an 826 router, 100 meg
826.
max.
Yeah.
And that's a Cat 4. No, that's a Cat 3 modem in there, I think.
Okay.
Early LTE stuff.
Super
4G.
4G, and I didn't have 5G up here at all, and actually I didn't have 5G in town at all when I moved here, and this is, of course, pre-Starlink, because, Starlink wasn't here, even though it existed.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. But anyway, I don't exactly remember what happened, other than I did go to directional antennas, which I believe...
That's a 2x2 antenna.
These adapters are just something else, but this would directly plug into the modem, and I unboxed all this. Yep, right there.
Yep.
I unboxed everything, put it in here, sort of figured out the software, kind of learned about band locking because towers have different bands, and I didn't really learn about it as much as I just Googled what to type into wherever the console even was.
Yeah, but there's not many bands on that, so you didn't have much to do for that one.
No, for sure not.
Then you move to this one, which is the same base, but
Then
an
I moved to this.
upgraded modem.
Yep.
With exterior antennas.
I was having like some heating issues, which I bent aluminum flashing and put a window screen and
Full mod.
And then I knew I needed intake, so I cut out more, but then I was having an amp problem, even though it was way up there.
Yep.
So I figured that would stop ants, which it kind of did. And
Perfect. Yep.
But yeah, then I ended up going to this, and I used this for a while, and it was super cool. I just kept buying different stuff and upgrading. All I upgraded was the modem on this one.
Yeah, modem on that one, then you added an outdoor antenna, external.
Yeah, the external.
Yep.
And I guess they were better than this one, probably. Well,
Where it worked.
Or it worked.
One or the other, yeah.
I don't even totally know. I kind of forget. I even fried one of these too because I put 48 volts
Yeah.
PoE to
Into
this
that
thing.
instead of 12. 2 years ago, you got an Invisagig.
I did.
Yep. 2 years got an Invisagig, and we just upgraded the software on it, so it's been running untouched for 2 years.
It has.
And we just set you up with a whole new network setup, and then you're still using your Invisagig, the same one from 2 years ago.
I am.
But now it's on a directional 4x4 panel, which you'll see in other videos.
One thing I have to mention is I don't have to reboot this thing all the time. Like this was at least every 24 hours, or when I had no internet, it was time to go.
Yeah, and it was very common to have to do that on those.
It was, and everything was always getting hot, and these of course are out in the sun, or very yellowed from the sun. Yeah, this is a router too.
Yep, yeah, it's a little
It
router.
was all in one, but everything in one doesn't always work like you would think.
No,
it probably
and that's
should.
where Invisagig was born. So I started off with LTE Fix, and we were selling these routers and these modems as parts, and you can put them together.
Yep.
Kits
LTE
with these antennas or outdoor enclosures for Nighthawks. And then we slowly evolved to doing a little better, a little more, a little different. And there was always a gap in the market for just this part, just the modem, in a way that you could use it with yours. So if you liked your Asus or your TP-Link or whatever, all the way up to Cisco routers in a corporate environment, you still had to use one of these, no matter the brand, because that's all it came with, was a modem inside a router.
That's right.
So we came up with a way to just do the modem in a way that you could utilize it with your router and not have a router in between.
Yeah.
And so that was Invisagig was born from. It actually wasn't me. It was a partner of ours in Invisagig that invented it, and then we evolved it into the product that you see today. And we've actually been trying to develop for the next generation. Decided to release it as a second version coming very soon, with better hardware for the next generation, but we're doing it on the current generation. So the current generation people can still benefit from the upgraded hardware, the better design, and not have to wait until the new modems come out that are fully certified and everything else, which is a big process.
Definitely.
So we'll take this thing brand new box. This is actually the first time anybody's outside of us has recorded this.
Sweet.
And we'll show the full thing set up, but we won't make you watch us open it.
Awesome.
So with the new version, you can't see it, but internally we beefed up the electronics. We made a completely new custom system we stuck with the Noctua fans. So we're keeping with those, of course, fan favorite, pun intended. And then we went with dual SIM, nano SIMs,
Sweet.
as well as our standard setup. Now we label them clearly on the sides. The power is now via USB-C. Now, it's 12 volt, but it'll take up to roughly 40 volts, but we supply a 4 amp adapter, 12 volt, with multiple connectors for around the world, because we do have customers around the world. We still have the 2.5 gig Ethernet. You can now, this was a big request, you can now turn off the LEDs or turn them on if you like.
I can actually tell you on this enclosure here, it would glow.
Yeah.
It's so dark out here, right?
It's right
I
through
would
the case.
actually see through the case
Yeah.
the LEDs, and I was like, that's really annoying.
Yep. So the LEDs are not super bright like they were on our very first release, but you can turn them off, so it's not a big deal.
That's cool.
But these I don't believe turn off, the link speed ones, but if you're at 2.5 gig, they don't turn on anyway. Sweet. The cable system that you see here, we've evolved this even further past this, so there's actually straight cables here, but this is just to keep it nice and neat, but we have it so that you can mount it anywhere you like, vertically, in different configurations, whatever works on your desktop. And then of course, these are just standard connectors, just like these, so if you don't like this for your setup, you have options. But this is the way we have it, and we've got them fully carrier certified. And we're going through further steps right now, but this is exactly how it's certified.
So carrier certified basically means that I don't have to go through a whole bunch of nonsense to just make this
Get
work.
you a hotspot data plan and drop it right in, correct. So as soon as we're finished with the final steps with each of the carriers, which we're officially at this point, we're certified through PTCRB. It's an FCC certified module. All we're doing is finishing up the paperwork and so forth, and a few final steps for T-Mobile, AT&T, and so forth, and we'll be going forward from there. The antennas we changed slightly because they actually tested to be slightly better, and we figured better for our customers, better for our tests, better for everybody. And all of these little parts, these are unique to the Invisagig. I actually designed these myself, and we iterated these over time so that it would just fit in the packaging, of course, but also work in a way that is, simple, easy to turn if you needed it to. If you wanted to mount it up on a window and do whatever weird configuration you think works best for your connection, you can also separate these. So if you really wanted to isolate and set your system up so that it was for your specific location, you can do that. And then of course, these also come out.
I was constantly moving little antennas all over the place
And
here and there.
you can do that. So instead of it being stuck on the unit, or if you're like totally trying to nerd out and you wanted these as far apart as possible, you can apply a sticky back if you like to these. You can put a magnet in there if you like. They're completely up to you, and they're easy to disassemble. So you have to actually assemble them because they won't fit in the box like this, but they're very basic setup. They're very simple to put together. That was a whole part of the whole design.
And you designed all this, and
I designed all this
with it, and that's so cool.
Yep, completely iterated it. Very simple to do, and that is the new version 2 hardware for Invisagig, beefed up so it's ready for the next generation of modems when we can finally get some certified and ready to go. This is it.
And for me personally, I just bought an Invisagig, plugged it in, did no updates and stuff like you guys even put me in the beta, and I did no beta. I did no updates.
Yeah,
I just ran the thing.
Yeah,
and probably not recommended, but it's what I do.
We just updated it yesterday after 2 years.
That's cool.
Yeah, yep. And you haven't had a lick of problems before and since.
And we've done some antenna things, so the speeds are like something I've not seen out here off of.
Yeah. We even changed your service to find out that it actually works even better and more stable. We enjoyed coming out here and setting you up with the whole new network and and checking out not only how good Invisagig did for you before, but now how it's doing on the new network and adding some new live stream cameras and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no, it's
Very cool.
It's really cool. Like I know just enough to like plug stuff in. Like the very first time I ordered something from you guys, it was a box like this that I had to take apart and put in something else.
And assemble yourself like we saw in the earlier parts.
Yeah. And now you can
it's just this.
can just do that.
And then you take this and plug it into any router you want, and then you get sick of that router, you just unplug it and plug it into that. This never has to be reconfigured.
That's way
so you
cool.
can go up to Wi-Fi 7, and then whenever 8 comes out, 9, you don't have to worry about changing your whole router system. You just move your Invisagig modem over to the router.
And then if I want different antennas, it's very easy. So if you live somewhere crazy like me and you need directional antennas,
Just like that. Yep.
That's
These are
it.
standard SMA connectors.
no opening the box, mangling the stuff, because I like mangled little stuff in there.
Yeah.
It was
No small connectors. We take care of that for
it
you.
was fine. I just had to keep rebuying stuff because I was dumb. You made that pretty simple. That's awesome.
That's our tagline. Super simple. Crazy
Very
fast. Invisagig.
Things are much improved, and I actually have a server room and a server. It's only a server room because there's a server. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's pretty cool, guys.
The beard and the visioning narrates his life. Cutting firewood, draining beasts away from city strife. The ducks they roam freely, a quiet army true. Muscovies in the meadow, foraging in the dew. Lord Minion, small but grand, he's the kingdom's pride. Chasing out the odds with dying at my side. And when it's time to collect his stuff, the snake is looking for